plaintiff, Sarah Rizzo, started dating the defendant after they met online, and he claimed he was single. But months later, Sarah found out the defendant was married and living with his wife. Sarah's suing her ex for a bail bond and emotional distress. Defendant Chad Fenson admits that he was dishonest while dating Sarah, but insists their relationship started off strong. Chad feels Sarah is suing him prematurely.
Start with you.
Well, me and Chad, we had met online and we started off our relationship and we built and we started dating for about 6 months, and into our relationship, I found out that Chad's whole past was a lie, everything from beginning to end. When we were dating, he was not single. He was actually married and is still currently going through a divorce, so he denied that to me after a long time.
Was he living with her?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was.
At the time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as our relationship progressed, it was just constant, unbelievable lies about multiple women, about drugs, about places he's been, things he was doing.
How long did you all stay together?
We were together on and off for 2 years.
Okay. At what point did you know all these things?
I say I found out about 5 to 6 months after us of being together, and I
Okay.
only found out because I did my own research
All
on
right.
Google, and I found out that he has an extensive background as well.
Okay, so didn't bother you much for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't.
All right. You want to give me some background?
Good morning, Your Honor, first of all. Pleasure to be here. So me and Sarah started off real strong. We built a lot of love for each other. We had a professionally minded folks. That's what we were. And it fizzled from there. I was a dishonest person. Let's be honest about that.
Let's be honest about you being dishonest. Got it.
Okay, but here's the matter of the situation. I was living with my wife at the time. I moved out of my wife's house to another girlfriend's house. All the while still talking to her, giving her the impression that, I'm single and I'm living with my brother, which the whole time it was a flat out lie.
What about all the other things? She said she discovered a criminal record.
Correct.
What did you discover?
I was told, according to one day we got pulled over, that he was armed and dangerous. He has a suspended
Who
license.
told you that?
The police officer when he got pulled over.
All right. Did they then take him and disarm him?
That's what it stated on his record that he
No,
had.
you were there.
Right, when I was
And the
with him.
police said he is currently armed and dangerous?
That his record is marked as he's armed and dangerous.
Oh,
He has a
okay.
warrant, or I'm sorry, a restraining order at that time. It just
Okay.
came up when they
Why did
searched
they
his
take
ID.
him to jail?
They didn't, at that time, they didn't take him to jail. They just stopped him.
While you all were with the police, the police says, "Sir, this says you're armed and dangerous.
Correct.
And instead of shooting to kill, we're gonna let you go." All right. And then what happened?
Can I just clarify that?
Go ahead. Yes.
They titled me as armed and dangerous as a formality because of that, restraining order, because
I think you all might have that a little wrong. Everybody else I've heard stamped as armed and dangerous. It's because they're being sought. But nonetheless, they let him go. And when did he go to jail, causing you to bail him out and therefore sue him?
He was arrested October 2nd, 2015. He was arrested for a warrant for failure to appear in court for something regarding his divorce and some other issues. And he had then called me from Cook County and had asked me to bail him out because he had nobody else to do it. At this time, we had just broken up 2 weeks prior because he lied to me about saying he was going home to go to sleep when he was with his ex-girlfriend as well. So he begged me to come and bail him out. I skipped out on a day of my family vacation to help him out because at the time I still had feelings for him, so I wanted to help him. So I waited 6 hours outside of county and I bailed him out for that incident.
All right, and he agreed to repay you?
Yes, sir, he did.
All right, how much was it?
Well, the original bond was $500, and then there was a $10.65.
How much did you pay?
I paid $510.65.
All right, and when was he to repay you?
He said that once he went back to work that week, he would repay me then.
The entire amount, $510.65?
Correct.
All right, and what occurred thereafter?
Thereafter, Chad was released from jail. He had a court appearance. When he went to court, they took the money and sent me a check of $91.05, and they used that rest of his bond money for his court
When
fines.
you ask for your money, what has he said?
Yes, I have numerous text messages where he says, okay, I'll do what I can. Because after that time, I bailed him out that time, he got arrested again.
For what?
He was arrested for a suspended license, and he had a pound of marijuana in his car. And from that,
Not true. Not true.
And from that, what?
he lost his job at that point. When we were dating, he was not single. He was actually married, and is still currently going through a divorce, so he denied that to me after a long time.
Was he living with her
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was.
at the time?
Yeah.
Plaintiff Sarah Rizzo says when she started dating the defendant, he claimed he was single. But months later, she discovered he was married and living with his wife.
Sir, what do you want to say about that?
You
And
know,
by the way, anytime you run into a playboy like that, they're usually broke because they spend all their time chasing women instead of money.
True.
All right, keep
Lesson
that in
learned.
mind. All you ladies that like these playboys, he gonna hit on you for some money at some point because he's broke.
well,
Woman and woman and woman and woman. Who has time to work? Or if he does work, he doesn't do a good job in the morning when he goes there because he's tired from last night's activity. And last night's activity ended up being 7 days a week because he's got all these women. One woman pulling on him for 2 days, the other woman pulling on him for 2 days, the other woman, I want 1 day and I want my 1 day. That's what happens with playboys. I don't know what ladies think, but I'm giving you some insight here. Go ahead, and you all know when they're playboys because they coming to you borrowing money. Or they getting caught with a pound of weed in the truck.
Well,
Sir, let me hear from you.
so as far as the pound of weed, that it was not a pound of weed. Okay.
All
No,
right.
that's irrelevant. But on the night that I got arrested, in regards to what she's mentioning, I don't owe her because there was a time where I said I would give her some money if I could.
And you haven't been able to?
Nope.
All right. Told you. Told you. Perfect example. Right?
Right.
Right? Broke.
He
All
is.
right.
He is.
So your emotional distress is for what?
Due to Chad's lack of payment, I was unable to pay for my school tuition to go back to finish my last year of my bachelor's in nursing.
All right. Well, you shouldn't have loaned it to him. Whenever there's a debt, you can't sue for emotional distress for a debt because I'm sure you've been late with your landlord. You've been late with the phone company. You've been late for a small business. Everybody, for the most part, has been late for some obligation, and that owner may not be able to meet his loan debt because you didn't pay him in time.
Correct.
So that means these businesses could sue you. AT&T might say, well, we weren't able to get a new computer in a timely manner. So we want to sue her for emotional distress. So that's not how late payments go. So I'll grant you your $410. He admits to agreeing to paying you some, but I'm going to conclude and believe you and say he agreed to pay it all, but chasing women has caused him to stay broke. And so therefore he would like to, but he can't.
Okay.
And so good luck to you. Hopefully you'll choose a man more stable with some money.
Thank
next
you.
time. $410 is your judgment. Have a good day.
I wish you the best.
I have nothing to say to him.
Plaintiff Ronnie Martin says the defendant is his sister, and they used to be close until he came out as a gay man at the age of 19. Ronnie says he, his boyfriend, and their disabled mother moved in with the defendant. But while there, she assaulted Ronnie and then put all of them out. So he's suing for a rent refund and emotional distress. Defendant Veronica Adams says she knew when Ronnie was in elementary school that he was gay, and it never changed her opinion of him. Veronica claims Ronnie instigated the fight by pushing her, so her son got involved to protect her.
Start with you.
Okay, Judge Mathis, this is my twin sister. I love her to death. When I came out at the age of 19 saying that I was gay, our relationship has changed.
How so?
She didn't want to talk to me or deal with me or anything like that.
That's not true.
And did she ever come back around?
No, sir.
Okay. You want to respond to that? He says
I
you're a
will
homophobe.
respond. We knew since elementary school. I've always accepted him. We didn't go to the same middle school or high school, so we never were really around each other. Just until we got home, I accept my brother regardless, but we've always had a decent relationship, just nothing strong because
So it
we
didn't
don't get
change
along.
when he announced he was gay?
I already knew he was gay,
Right.
so
Okay.
that's my brother, I knew.
We knew my brother was gay when he was like as of age 7 or 8. Go ahead, and
And so what I say is that she has put our mother out, which has both her legs cut off and everything, and her eyes taken out. She put her out and locked her outside with her 14-year-old son.
when was this?
Within November.
Maybe
Yes.
I misunderstood.
Yes, sir.
She puts you all's mother out, who had her legs cut off and her eyes.
One of her eyes taken out. And we all stayed in the house together because she was staying with, her boyfriend was there at one point in time, which he didn't want the family staying there with her or anything. And every time he would come into town, he would have us to leave and we would have to go
You
get
stayed there as well. Who
Yes,
all
sir.
stayed there? Other than your mother and she and her man, who all stayed there?
And my boyfriend was also there at the time that I was
How much
with.
were you all paying?
I was paying $380 a month.
Was he?
He paid $380 one time.
Yeah, and I
How
had,
long did he stay there?
He was there for a month because there was drama then.
All right. Let me hear from you on that.
Well, my mom, my brother, and my brother's boyfriend did live with me. At the time, the house was given to me by my ex-boyfriend. We were together at that time. My mom and ex-boyfriend got into it because there was a lot of goofy stuff going on at the house. Let's see here. We were getting text messages on our phones. First, it started with me talking about, I'm going to kill you, this, that, and the other. And then the text messages started on my brother's phone, my mom's phone. And so my mom felt like it was my boyfriend at the time who was messing with us because he wasn't there in town. But when we would bring up little stuff, the little boyfriend of his, the little 19-year-old boyfriend, or 33 of his, will always know, oh, that's the application I used because it was a fake.
it was a fake. When I came out at the age of 19 saying that I was gay, our relationship has changed.
How so?
She didn't want to talk to me or deal with me or anything like that.
That's not true.
Defendant Veronica Adams is being sued by her brother, who says they used to be close until he came out as a gay man at the age of 19.
Go ahead.
It was a fake number. So the dude knew, when we were like, oh, we'll try to call the number, it was a fake number. He was like, oh, me and my friend used this number, whatever. But when he did come into town, yes, they did leave as far as privacy. The first time he came back,
He said you put him out. He said you put your mama out when she was in a wheelchair and had blindness in one eye.
Everything was happening in the house as far as drama. And
Talking
then
about
my
some text message. Why you put your mama out?
Well, I didn't put her out. She left on her own free will because she felt like somebody was going to come into the house.
Where did she go?
She left and went to my little brother's apartment.
I didn't needed to go.
Yes, he got put out for a reason.
Him and his trade. I mean, him and his boyfriend. Him and his boyfriend.
He got put out for a reason.
You know what that means? A gay guy's boyfriend. I think they were trade.
Yes.
Right? Am I right?
Yes, you're
See,
right.
my brother, I grew up with my brother. And his friends would come over, so I know some of the lingo. His buddies ain't never hit on us for all you homophobes. His buddies would come over. Nobody hit on me. Nobody looked at me. And like a lot of folks think, well, you let gay folks come over here, they're going to be looking. They ain't going to do no more than you would do. Just a little education there.
Thank you.
But when he got his trade, he moved out. What you suing her for? Tell me about this lawsuit.
Okay, on March 1st, I had came to my sister and asked her if I could stay with her. She agreed to it. On March 11th, I was rear-ended by a semi-truck and I almost lost my life. So,
What happened?
I was rear-ended by a semi-truck. If you'd
Okay,
like to
let's
see the
see it.
pictures, here they are.
She put you out while you were sick, too.
Yes.
That's not what happened.
Look at this. You put this man out after this.
No, I didn't put him out after that. Ronnie
He
went
left too voluntarily.
He went to jail.
With Oh, okay.
He went to jail.
For
Yeah,
this?
I was taken to jail for 21 days for a DUI, and I don't even drink and
This
drive.
was the result of your DUI?
Yes. And I was rear-ended. I could barely walk. I could barely talk. And that's what caused the fight in between me and her, because I couldn't speak or anything. I have the medical papers right here.
Saying
And
what?
Saying that what was all wrong with me.
Just because you rear-ended doesn't mean that you didn't do anything wrong.
I wasn't drunk, sir. I wasn't
just
drunk.
said you-
That's what they said, that I was intoxicated at the time of the accident, and I wasn't.
Did you go to jail?
Yes, I
For
did.
that?
Yes, I did. sir.
For that incident?
Yes, I
The
did.
judge didn't believe you?
No, my lungs were swollen at the time, so I couldn't talk. And I was on my way to work at the time.
All right, that's you, and that didn't work for the other judge, so let's move
Yeah.
beyond that. It can't work with me. How does she owe you for rent?
Because I didn't stay in her house for the full 30 days. I only stayed in there for 11 days in her apartment.
Before you went to jail?
Yes, sir.
That's
And
not how this works, sir. Just because you pay rent and you go on vacation, what do they call going to jail in the prison?
I couldn't even.
You do know, you've been there. It's called going on vacation. If I go to Hawaii for 2 weeks, I can't call my landlord and say I want 2 weeks worth of money back because I went on vacation in Hawaii. You just happen to go on a vacation in an undesirable location.
True. That's true.
Can't get your money back. Now, what's your emotional distress for?
Because I here am recently homeless, all behind this car accident, and I had texted her and asked her just for $100 back. She said no, because you stayed here for 31 days, and like I told her, I was only there for 11 days.
We're past that. So what happened?
And so now here I have no money. I'm sleeping in my car, and
That's your emotional distress?
and also because of a lot of health issues that's going on behind her jumping on me with her son.
I didn't hear that part. What happened?
I
with
was
this
in
assault?
the living room, and I had the air on.
When?
On April 6th.
Okay.
I was in her living room, and I was laying down because I was supposed to be resting before I had another work day. So she came in the house complaining about her air being on, and I was like, well, it's too hot. I can't breathe, and I needed the air. So she turns off the air. Then she starts hollering at me and everything. And so she started rushing towards me, and then that's when she pushed me, and I pushed her back.
That's
And
not what
so
happened.
after I pushed her back, her and her son both jumped on me with brooms, poles, and everything. I was gushing
That
out
is
blood
not
on
what
the right
happened.
side of my face.
I accept my brother regardless, but we've always had a decent relationship, just nothing strong
So
because
it
we
didn't
don't get
change
along.
when he announced he was gay?
I already knew he was gay,
Right.
so
Okay.
that's my brother. I knew.
Defendant Veronica Adams is being sued by her brother, who says they used to be close until he came out as a gay man at the age of 19.
Did you go to the doctor?
Yes, I did. I
me
had
see.
to
You
go
have a
to the
doctor report?
hospital.
Ma'am, that's not funny. Tell me what
No,
happened.
Well,
He
basically,
went to the hospital and it couldn't be that funny.
Okay. Well, I'm not laughing because he went to the hospital.
what
I'm
happened?
laughing because this dude is lying.
All
You know,
right.
as you can see, he's dramatic. You know, he burns bridges with people. You know, he doesn't treat people the same way they treat him. You know, so with this incident, he's very dramatic with it. I pulled up into my driveway. He comes to the car. He's telling me about the lawyer, about the court case, this, that, and the other. And I was like, what are you talking about? So he gets mad and said, you, Veronica, you won't care about me. I could
How
have
could I
died.
be outside and I was in the house?
He goes into the house first. I go in behind him. He has the air on or had it on because the house was cold. And I said, who has this air on? And he was like, it's me. I'm not sitting in this house and I'm gonna burn up in here. And I was like, dude, you need to
Not
calm down.
sure.
You're not gonna help me with these bills. You just gave a little bit of money for the rent. And so he was like, I'm not just gonna leave you high and dry. His phone was plugged in my charger. So I went to the phone, unplugged it. nicely, took the charger out. And so he's like, oh, now you gonna take my phone? And then my son hears us arguing. My 14-year-old son hears us arguing. He comes in, dude, don't talk to my mama like that, and don't you put your hands on her.
That
So
didn't
Ronnie
happen.
pushes me, and I almost fell over the couch. And so him and my son start going at it. So he pushes me again. I almost fell and twisted my ankle. Before I know it, my son and my brother are over there fighting again. I believe it was my son. He picked up something, started knocking Ronnie in the head with it. Ronnie runs into the kitchen, grabs the broom, and then he hits me with it a couple of times on my wrist. Then he starts beating the crap out of my son over the head. My son had
Who
a
threw the
gash.
punch? To your son or him? Who threw the first punch?
Her son is taller than me.
Who threw
He
the first
did,
punch?
Her son. And she threw all of my stuff on top of my brand new car I had to go buy.
It wasn't a brand new car.
Yes,
It was a 2006 or 17
When did you throw his things on top of the
I
car?
neatly grabbed all that I seen and put it on top of his car.
How is you
That was
gonna
it.
neatly throw things on top
well,
of
you
someone's
weren't
You were
supposed
able
to
to
do
find
that.
everything.
Well, you won't. That could be considered an illegal eviction. It certainly would cause emotional distress. Your $500 for emotional distress is granted because she threw your things on top of the car. Have a good day.
I want to try and reconcile this with her, but as everyone can see that I don't think it's gonna go nowhere, and I don't like it. We blood. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is supposed to be down for each other, but if it don't go nowhere, oh well, I'll just live the same life I've been living.
As of right now, I have nothing to say to Ronnie. That's my brother. I love him, but I will be loving him from a distance.
Plaintiffs Mark Johns and his daughter Autumn say Autumn was best friends with the defendant, but they are no longer speaking because of this lawsuit. Autumn claims one night while she and the defendant were headed to the movies, the defendant shifted her car into park while she was driving 40 miles an hour, which damaged the vehicle, so she's suing. Defendants Brianna Bailey and her mother Chastity Tipton say on the night in question, Brianna did not shift Autumn's car into park, and she did not cause any damage to her vehicle. They're countersuing because they claim Autumn egged Brianna's car.
Start with you all.
Me and Bree were best friends. Even though we were best friends, she never really liked to share with me, or we'd be in the car or something and I'd ask to plug in my phone to the aux and she would tell me no.
Why do you think that was the case?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You never asked?
Nope, she just told me
There
no.
she is. Ask her.
Why didn't she let me plug my phone into the aux cord?
Because you liked your, I just didn't listen to the same music you did.
Oh, okay. You didn't tell her that?
Well, she never asked me why she couldn't. She would always just say, you never let me, you never let me.
Go ahead.
And one day at school, we got into an argument and I called her the V word. And her and one of her friends stood outside my classroom and mugged me for like 5 minutes, which I thought was unnecessary. I don't get why they mugged me.
Did you report it?
No, I told my teacher and she didn't want to. She thought it was funny, so.
The teacher thought it was funny?
Yes.
Plaintiffs Mark Johns and his daughter Autumn say Autumn and the defendant used to be best friends. But as a result of this lawsuit, they are no longer speaking.
All right, let me get some background from you.
Well, it started when me and Autumn became friends about 1.5 years ago. We were really close friends, but there was just a series of events that led to us not being friends. It started when we both got a job together, and she ended up telling one of the coworkers that they don't know why they hired me because I'm too quiet and shy, and I just don't get why my best friend would say something like that to put my job on the line. But then we still remained friends after that. The second series of events was when I was at her house. We were supposed to be going downtown to hang out, and it was before she told her dad. She let her know what she was doing. He said it was fine, and then next thing you know, he's drunk and wouldn't let her go. He was drunk and wouldn't let her go anymore. She decided to still get in the car with me and still go downtown. And when we came back, she realized she left her spare key with her dad, and she didn't want her dad to end up driving her car while he was drunk because it's her car. So we ended up going back to her house to get her spare key, and they got in an argument about it. And he ended up coming up to my car and said, "Get that out of here, you dumb B," and tried ripping off my side mirror. And then she told me to just drove off, and that's what I did. So I just drove off. And there was we still even remained friends after that. And then the third series of events, which was the final straw, was when she ended up egging my car because my stepdad is
That's
the one.
part of your lawsuit?
Yep.
All right, we'll get to that shortly.
Okay.
What grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
All right. How about you?
I'm a sophomore.
All right. Sir, you want to respond to the drunk claim?
Yes, that's halfway true, but I went out there. No, I was drinking, but I didn't go out there. I was drinking, and I didn't drive a car. And I went and wiggled in the mirror and said, how would you like someone to mess your car up like you did my daughter's car? She really damaged my car.
All right, let me hear from your daughter about the car.
One day we were going to the movies and Bree suggested I drive. She didn't have money, and so I paid for her. And then when we were going down 72nd Street, I was going like 40 miles an hour, and she's like, slow down a little bit, and I'm going like 50, and then I'm like at 40, and she puts it in park, and it makes some noise, and we stop in the middle of the street, which was, I just think that's common sense. You don't put somebody's car in park while they're driving.
Safety issue also.
Yeah, like, and she told me to drive. Like, she wanted me to drive.
On a residential street?
72nd, it's commercial.
There were no other cars?
I was not in the car. It was them two.
No, it was like nighttime. There was like 3 of us on the road.
And she put it in park, and it immediately stopped, and you don't know whether there were cars behind you?
No, I don't think there were cars behind us.
Okay.
They probably would have hit us.
All right. Well, she's going to deny all this, so that's why I'm trying to get it from you, and your probables may or may not be
I have
different.
messages of her admitting she did it and also the estimate.
All right.
Thank you.
I was going like 50 when you did that, and we could have both gotten hurt.
She said you weren't going that fast when I did it.
Ma'am, what do you say to this?
Well, first of all, she was not driving 40 miles an hour because we were just taking off from a red
Got
light.
that point.
There was no red light.
Let her finish. Got that point. Now what?
We were stopped at a red light, and as soon as she took off is when I put her car in neutral, and the only reason I put her car in neutral was because she put my car in neutral while I was driving one day.
Okay. And so it stopped immediately?
Well, her car, it did make a noise, and then that's when she stopped.
Okay.
I think she intentionally stopped her car because of the noise.
Why shouldn't you have to pay?
Because I didn't cause any damage to her car.
Okay. Did she speak with you about it? She never told you you caused damage?
She didn't tell me I caused damage until after she egged my car and we weren't friends anymore.
How long after
And when
the
she was
incident?
egging my car, she was driving her car, which was
Listen
after.
to me. I'm not as interested in the kitty stuff yet. How long after putting her car in neutral did she mention she had damage?
It was probably a little over a month, maybe.
That's the first time she mentioned it?
Yeah.
And what did you say to her?
When she brought it up to me, she told me that I messed up her transmission, and I told her by putting her car in park, and I told her I did not put her car in park.
Plaintiffs Mark Johns and his daughter Autumn say Autumn and the defendant used to be best friends. But as a result of this lawsuit, they are no longer speaking.
Young lady, why did you wait a month?
There was a time before the whole situation, before the car, I literally broke down. I told her it was messing up, and I texted her and told her, and she was like, no, it's
Do
not.
you have that text?
No, I don't. My phone, I got a new phone. And then my car broke.
How long after it occurred did you take it to the shop?
Like a couple weeks afterwards, well, like a month afterwards, I took it to
Why a month?
because it didn't fully break down until a month. Like, it was not working after a month.
What year?
And I told the
What year is the car?
99.
And this occurred when?
It was the middle of March, but I'm not exact what
Okay.
day.
You had never had any other problems
No.
with the transmission? Yes, sir.
Well, when she came home and told me that night, she rammed it in park. And I said, that's going to mess your transmission up. It wasn't quite a month. And she said, no, I'm going to go beat Bree up. I said, no, Autumn, you're not. We're going to do this right. You're a straight-A student. You saved your money
Got
up
all that.
for-
Tell me
all
when
right.
she took it, sir.
It sat at school for 4 weeks till I had time to go out there and look at it. Had our tow truck. Nope, not 4 weeks, 2 weeks, because I didn't want to get towed. Brought it home. Had a mechanic come there because it could not drive. So I'm saying 2 to 3 weeks after it happened.
2 to 3 weeks after it happened is when you took it in?
No, they came to me,
Who came to you?
the mechanic.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
All right.
yes,
You
2 to
had
3
the
weeks.
estimate done 2 or 3 weeks
Yes.
later, you got
Yes.
an estimate?
Yes,
And this occurred in mid-March?
yes,
All right. The estimate was in May.
yes.
That's a big difference.
Well, I didn't know we was going to sue until,
No. Estimate. I was very clear what I was asking you. Because in 99, a transmission problem could happen for many reasons. And transmissions don't break when you put it in neutral.
She put it in park.
She says neutral.
And when she also just said that when she put it in neutral, that she says, it made a noise. And if you would have put it in neutral, it wouldn't have made a noise. She put it in park, and that's when it made the noise.
Did
and
it
the
make a
car
noise?
stopped.
When you put your car in neutral and you still press on the gas and your engine still rears, that's a noise, yes.
How do you know?
Because she did it to my car.
Did you do it to her car?
No.
So she's making that up?
Yes. Because I don't recall putting her car in neutral.
Don't recall.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I know I didn't.
Okay. I don't believe you.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I don't believe you, don't win.
Okay.
Okay. Claims dismissed, and so is yours. Your kitty games, you got to stop it. Have a good day.
I hope she's still my friend.
Yeah. I mean, whatever happens, happens. It was a lot of stuff going on, and I wouldn't have a problem still remaining Autumn's friend.
Plaintiff Barbara Wortham says she and the defendant have been neighbors for 15 years, and he's a very nice person, but she's heard rumors that he's on drugs. Barbara claims she gave the defendant a loan, and he has yet to repay, so she's suing. Defendant Carlos Duani says he cannot believe Barbara would falsely accuse him of using drugs because he thinks nothing but the best of her. Carlos admits that he fell on hard times financially and borrowed money from Barbara, but he insists when he tried to repay her, she'd already filed this case.
Start with you.
We've been neighbors for 15 years. He was there before I moved there. And I thought he was a very nice person, which I still do. I won't do it anyway. He went out with my girlfriend and I to church. He went to her church and had dinner with us too, and he went to my church. And later on, I started hearing shady things.
Like what?
Like he was on drugs. I don't know this at all. Yeah, I don't know this. I don't know. But I
What
feel...
What kind of drugs have you heard?
I don't know about what did they do, but anyway, I heard that he was
think
using drugs.
Crack?
I don't know which one it is. It's so...
Go ahead.
So anyway, I'm the type of person, if someone needs something and if I can help them, I will.
Okay.
And he said, my late husband always told me, he said, Barbara, you never loan money. Person come to you if they need a loan. If you help them, they in trouble, they need. But if you help them, then you in trouble. And that is true. I wish I could wake him up and say, Johnny, you told me the truth and I'll never do that again.
Let me tell you what I do. 'Cause
What?
I get a lot of requests, as you might guess. I don't loan money at all. Person asks me to borrow money, and if we're that close that I would otherwise loan them some money, I give them about half of what
I
they
can't give
ask.
away money.
I give them. I say, well, they want $1,000, and nobody asks me for less than $1,000. Yes, nobody. Never got a request for less than. That's the bare minimum. That's right. Bare minimum. I just say, well, I don't loan money, but I give you $500. And if you still mad about that, then you don't gotta speak to me no more.
Plaintiff Barbara Wortham says the defendant is her neighbor, and she thinks he's a very nice person, but she's been hearing rumors that he may be on drugs.
Sir, she suggested that you may be, she didn't say which drug, but she suggested that you may be a crack addict.
I heard that, Your Honor. And
You're not on crack, are you, sir?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I wanna
and
start
I'm
off
sorry to
with
hear her
that.
say that because I think nothing but the best of Ms. Wortham. And I had some tenants that became squatters, and Ms.
Were
Wortham,
they on crack?
they were on other things, whatever
They
they
were on
called it,
dope.
blunts and yeah.
That's the gossip that
That's
over
the
there
gossip
with
that
the
the
tenants?
got out.
That didn't have
That
nothing to
he's
do
over
with
there
me.
with the tenants? Huh?
That didn't have nothing to do with me. I'm sorry that she said that because, like you said, she's heard.
It's probably from
and
the
that's-
tenants. It's
Yeah.
probably because you hang out with your tenants.
No, I don't hang out with them.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, we were very much at odds. I had to pay to evict them, which put me behind the 8 ball financially.
8 balls.
I like.
See?
You know,
You said you had to put them out because they were behind on paying for that 8 ball. Isn't that what you just said?
no, sir. I said
What'd you say?
by them non-payment, put me behind the 8-ball financially.
Put you behind from
Right.
buying you an 8-ball.
And so
I'm
Miss
just kidding
Wortham.
with you, sir. But
Miss-
watch
oh,
your
I watch
term.
you all
You
the
got a lady
time.
accusing
I know
you.
about your wit, so I enjoy it too.
And you know I have fun.
But Miss Wortham heard about my plight, you know, because once they got evicted, instantly, as soon as they left, they shut my water off. And she heard about it and offered to loan me $310. So, yeah, I think she's absolutely a wonderful
Well,
person.
let me-
I just don't like the fact that whatever she heard, you know, I'm not on any crack and I'm not on any drugs. I don't even smoke weed anymore, you know?
Anymore.
That was a thing 30 years ago. You know? And so I don't like that innuendo about hearsay.
That's right.
You know, but
We all
it is
smoked
what it is.
weed at some point. You're
I
right.
did.
So nobody's going to
30
sit up
years
here and
ago.
act like they're pure.
Yeah.
Ma'am, tell me about the loan.
He wrote me a promissory note and said he would pay me back. So I didn't mind. But he didn't say no more to me about it.
Let me see your document.
And by the way, Your Honor, that was my idea because I intended to pay her. I really appreciated what she did. I didn't have to ask her for the loan.
Tell me
She
how the
just-
church visits worked out. You went to church with her and then with her friend as well?
Yes,
Two
I
different
volunteer.
churches?
Yes, I volunteer at a church that's her church's sister church.
Okay.
You know, and so, you know.
Did you join
I did-
either of them?
No, I have a church. You know, I just
Okay.
volunteer at
Go.
Ebenezer A&E.
All right.
And she goes to Bethel.
Which city?
Sort of Evanston.
Okay.
And so, you know,
Good. I
first
just
time I
want to
went
know
to her
so
church.
folks can know you're a good church man. So I see a loan. How much has he paid you?
None.
Sir, what do you have to say? She says
Well,
you paid her
I
zero.
did offer to pay her a couple 3 weeks ago, but she had already taken it to court.
All right, you still
So
have
she
it?
refused it.
You still have it?
Yes.
Well, then this case is over there. Just pay her money. You have
There you
it.
go.
310 is your judgment. Now, you happy now?
Yes.
Y'all friends again. There you go. All right. Thank you.
I think, you know, she's a wonderful person. That just threw me for a loop about hearing about the drug thing.
That's
but
what they're
I
saying.
just think that, yeah, but we can't always repeat what people say because innuendos
Right.
last a long
But
time.
I'm sorry it went to all this.
I am too, and I
But
have no ill feelings. But
I just want my money.
oh, and you know.
I'm gonna get it
this,
now?
This absolutely.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, well, you'd have got it back then when
I
you
did.
told me that you had already taken it to court.
I'm gonna get the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, let's go do that now.